Ned's week 4 video recap. So we're going to start out by charging our clicker just like we've been doing at the beginning of each training session. So I'll do this maybe 4 or 5 times before we get started here. And as you can see, Ned is to the point where if he is not looking at me when I mark with that clicker, he's looking in my direction. That's a pretty good indication that he now understands that that click means food. What a good boy. And as you can see, I already have him on leash. So right from here, we're going to just review having him follow a food lure. So the easiest way to do this setup is I will have my leash and my clicker in the same hand. And then I want my food to be on the same side as the dog so that I'm not having to like reach in front of myself to reward the dog. So especially because eventually we want to teach him how to walk nicely at our side. This is a really nice way to introduce that, because I can keep him at my side pretty much in heel position and just reward from my hand with the food on the same side as the dog. Good job, buddy. We've also been continuing to pair this with his name, so as we move forward, I'm just going to say his name. Ned. Good boy. Ned. Ned. Good job, buddy. So if I prefer to have my dog on my right side, I'm just going to switch. So my leash and my clicker will now be in my left. My food pouch is going to go on my right side. Food and dog will be on the right. Ned. Good boy. Ned. Good job, buddy. We'll do one more here. Ned. Beautiful. Nice work, bud. Okay. So I've been working a lot this week on teaching Ned about leash pressure. So the first time we put the leash on his collar and he went to the end of the leash, he started to get a little bit frantic when he felt the pressure of that leash. Not uncommon for puppies when we first introduce the leash to them. But what I want to start to teach him is that when he feels that pressure on the leash, if he yields to it, he'll get rewarded for it. So the way we're going to do this is he's going to go into a sit or down position. I'm going to gently apply some leash pressure in my direction. When he yields to that pressure, that's when I'm going to mark and reward him. So you'll see in the video, when I apply pressure, the leash will be taut. When he yields to that pressure, there'll be some slack in the leash again, and that's when I'm going to mark and reward him. So pressure on, he comes toward me, I click and reward. So just teaching him that he doesn't have to get frantic, he doesn't have to pull against that pressure, we actually want him to go with that pressure. So let's do this again. Let me turn him around so you can get a good view of this. So he's in a sit position, I don't have any food in my hand, but I'm just bringing that leash towards me a little bit, and when he comes towards me is when I'm going to click and reward him. See if we can do that again. Over here. Where are you going, bud? Trying to get him to turn so that you can get a good view of this here. Ned. Sit. Good boy. Okay, so pressure's on. You silly boy. Oh my goodness. He's yielding to it really well. Sit. There we go. See if we can do 1 or 2 more. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Ned. Sit. Good boy. Good job, buddy. So again, just teaching him that if he yields to that pressure or follows the direction that pressure is coming from, that he'll actually be rewarded from it. So the other thing that we've been doing in regards to leash pressure, good boy, is having him walk at my side, kind of like what we were doing with following the food lure, but I'm going to, once I get towards the camera, I'm going to turn and walk in the opposite direction, and I just want to see that if he doesn't turn with me right away, if he starts to feel pressure on that leash, that he'll yield to that pressure and eventually turn. So he's going to be at my side. Ned. And I'm not going to do this one with a food lure. I'll reward him after we make the turn. So I'm not doing like super formal walking with him, but again, just doing a couple exercises to make sure that he'll yield really well to this pressure. So when I go to turn, I want to see that he'll turn with me, and that's how I'll mark and reward. So we're going to turn again here. He might feel a little bit of the pressure on the leash right there, but then when he makes the choice to yield to it and come with me, that's when I'm marking and rewarding. Good boy. And as you can see, he's sticking at my side very well. It's because we spent the first few weeks doing a lot of food luring with the food right at our side at the seam of my pants. So now you can see when I'm walking with him without that food lure, he's staying at my side. That's like the very beginnings of teaching our dog a formal heel, or to walk and heel. So let's do this one more time. So I'm just going to get him on my left side, and then we're going to start to move. Whoops. So again, I just want to see that when I go to turn around, he's going to yield to that pressure when he feels it. What a good boy. We'll do one more here. Very nice, buddy. Good job. Okay. Good boy. Right from here, we're going to move into maybe practicing a couple of sits. So we're just kind of building on what we've been working on the past few weeks. So today we're going to start to introduce the concept of a sit-stay. So all along for the past few weeks, we've been working on duration with our dogs right off the bat, because eventually we can develop this into a pretty solid sit-stay. So because he is a little baby puppy, I'm not going to up the criteria on this too quickly, but what I want to do today is, the goal is that when I get him into a sit position, I want to see if I can take a little step away from him while he stays in that sit position. I'm probably going to practice this with him kind of up against the couch, only because the floors are so slippery that when I was practicing this with him yesterday, he kept sliding into a down position on the floor. So when you're practicing this at home, just think about the flooring that you're doing it on. Try to have it done on like some carpeting or something like that. Here, bud. Ned, sit. Okay, so marking and rewarding for him initially sitting. And I'm going to see if I can take a little step back. If he gets up, good boy. Not going to reward him there because he made a mistake. Ned, let's try again. Sit. There we go, buddy. So taking a little step back, and then when I step back in is when I'm going to mark with my clicker and then reach into my treat pouch for some food. And then making sure I use that release cue, okay, to let him out of position. We'll try that one again. Here, bud. Ned, sit. What a good puppy. Okay, so same thing. Uh-oh. Good boy. Let's try again. Whoop. Ned. Good boy. Sit. So I'm going to help him with food here. Come on. Good boy. Just going to wait a second. I'm not going to move. Okay, now I'll try moving again. Good boy. So again, not adding a ton of movement, just that little step, but getting him to work on duration and getting him used to the fact that I might be moving a little bit and I still want him to stay in that position. What a good boy. Much better that time. Okay. Nice work. All right, so we've been practicing the same thing with our downs. Ned, down. So I'll take a step back, and I'll step back in, mark that with my clicker, and then reach into my treat pouch for the food. So notice I do not have my hand in my treat pouch. I don't have food in my hand until I've come back and marked him. Good boy. Because sometimes if we have that food in our hand or our hand in our treat pouch when we back up, it encourages the dog to follow us because they want that food. So just trying to be conscious of not dipping my hand into that treat pouch until I've marked him. What a good puppy. Okay, we'll run through that one more time. Whoops, did it go under the little chest thingy? Ned. Ooh, good boy. Okay. Ned, down. What a smart boy. Uh-oh. Good boy. Nice work, buddy. Okay. Good job. All right, at this point, I'm going to take the leash off. So I'm just going to get him licking a piece of food while I unclip that leash. Good job, buddy. All right. Let me get a refill on food real quick. Okay, so the next thing that we've been continuing to work on with Ned this week is our magic mat. So last week we started to add some distance, meaning I needed to be able to take a couple of steps away from him while he stayed on the mat. This week we're going to add some small distractions in. So I might lean over and pretend to tie my shoe. I might try to sit down on the couch. I might drop something on the floor. These are just small things we can start to do to help proof this behavior, so that Ned will start to do this mat behavior in any environment, okay? So let me get the mat out. Ned, mat. What a smart boy. Okay, so I'm going to pretend to tie my shoe. And then I'll mark and reward him if he stays in position. I'm gonna knock something off the couch. Good boy. Maybe I'll move something around on the table. Then after I've done a couple different things, I'll release him and we'll run through it again. Okay. Ned, mat. Good boy. Okay, I'm gonna try sitting down. What a smart boy. And try moving the chair a little bit. Good man. Knock something over. What a smart boy. Okay. And we'll do that one more time. Ned, mat. Good boy. I can try walking all the way around him. What a smart puppy. I'll sit down again. Maybe I'll move something over here. What a good boy. Okay, nice work, bud. So again, just starting to add some small distractions to help proof this behavior so that Ned will start to do it when the environment is a little bit more distracting. Good job, buddy. Okay. From here, we're going to move into our crate games. So the criteria for our crate game this week is the same as week 3, but I did want to continue practicing that with him because I do think that you know, having good crate skills and being comfortable in the crate is super important. So we are just going to run through that again real quick. So I just want to see that he's going to remain calm in the crate after I shut the door and as I move away. Ned, crate. What a smart boy. Okay, so I'm going to turn my back to him and walk away. Maybe I'll pause for a few seconds once I've walked away. And again, I just want to see that he's going to remain calm in the crate. I'll come back and mark and reward. And then I'll walk away in a different direction. And And then when I'm going to let him out of the crate, I'm going to meet him at the threshold with a piece of food. I just want to see that he's not going to try to push through this threshold here. Okay. And I'll use that okay to let him out of the crate. We'll run through that one more time. Ned, crate. What a good boy. Good job, buddy. So same thing, I'll walk away, pause for a few moments. Good boy. We'll do that again. Okay, so he just pawed at the door there. I'm just going to wait a moment to see that he's going to be calm before I open that door. Okay, good boy. Good job, Ned. And then I am going to close that because I know he's going to try to go right back in it, right? You like your crate. Good boy. Okay. We've been continuing to play our flying cookie game as well. So for this, when I toss that reset cookie or that go get it cookie, when Ned is going to get that food, I'm going to move where I am just so it's not super predictable as to where it is that I'm calling him from. Instead of me staying in the same spot, I'll be in different spots. Go get it. Ned, good boy. And then what I've started to do this week is I'm actually going to reward him a few times for coming back to me, because this is going to be the very beginnings of teaching him a recall. And I want my dog, when they come back to me, I want them to stay, not take one piece of food and then run off again. So sometimes I'll give him one piece, sometimes I'll give him two, just to kind of keep him guessing, but keep him near me until I'm ready to send him out again. Go get it. Ned, good boy. Good job, buddy. Go get it. Ned, good boy. Good job, bud. Go get it. Ned. Oh my goodness, good job. Go get it. Ned, good boy. You are so smart. We'll do one more. Go get it. Whoops. Did you not see that one? There it is. We're going to send out another one. Go get it. Ned, good boy. Good job, buddy. Whoops. Did you not chew that one? There you go. Okay. All right, buddy. Let's give you a minute. Okay? Okay, let's try one more. My goodness. Go get it. Ned, good boy. Very nice. Good work. I've been continuing to work with Ned on some cooperative care skills this week. So this week we've been using the brush, we've been using the nail clippers, and then I've also been continuing to work on restraint holds with him. So we're going to start with the brush here. So I'm going to get him interested in a piece of food. While he's looking at that piece of food, I'll go ahead and brush him a couple times. Yes, good boy. We'll do this maybe 3 times, and I'm going to try to brush him in a different spot each time. Yes. What a good boy. Do one more here with the brush. Yes, good boy. Okay. Right from here, we're going to move into using the clippers. So I'm not going to actually clip his nails today, but just getting him used to seeing these, feeling these on his body. Yes, good boy. What I've been doing is, instead of just picking up a paw, I've been actually picking up a paw while I'm also holding the nail clippers. Yes, good job, buddy. Whoops. Yes. So again, just getting him used to feeling those, getting him used to me picking up his paws and maybe holding them there for a short duration. Yes. Whoops. Good man. Let's get that last back paw. Yes. Nice work, bud. And then I've also, with his paws, been working on isolating one toenail, again in preparation for a nail trim. So I'm going to slide my hand down his leg, pick up his paw, and then take a moment to isolate one nail. Yes. What a smart boy. Do his back leg here. Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, good boy. Nice work, bud. And then for restraint holds this week, so I've been adding also restraining around his neck. So I'll have one hand under his belly and the other one will go around his neck. Just doing a very short duration. I'm not holding it there for a while. So I'm getting him on the food, I'm gonna slip my hand under his belly. Then as I release that piece of food, I'm gonna bring my other hand around his neck just for a moment, and then I'm gonna let him go. Good job, buddy. Oh my goodness, you found my stash. You silly boy. Come here. Okay, we're gonna do that again. So hand under the belly first while he's still on the food, and then after I release that food, just a quick other hand up around his neck for a moment. Good job, buddy. So this is gonna help to stabilize him, maybe when he has to have vaccinations done at the vet or something like that. Yeah, good boy. Good job, buddy. That is it for Ned's week 4 video recap. So make sure you're looking at your video library and your handouts. Those will give you more detailed information on everything we've been working on with Ned. Good job, buddy.